But yeah, that's an awesome lineup of brand new games coming to GeForce Now. I think that personally, I'm gonna. Hey, I'm filming.
Check your phone.
Oh my god, is this real? I'm gonna need a second.
Are you listening?
Google Stadia is officially dead. Yeah, we're just gonna let those words sink in real quick. That's right, Phil Harrison decided to break his 2-year slumber and grace the Stadia community with the fantastic news that Google Stadia will be closing. The blog post is long and I'll definitely link to it down below, but essentially it says that Stadia has never been able to garner a player base that is big enough to keep it afloat. Stadia also revealed that it will be issuing refunds for all hardware, games, and add-on purchases, which as one of the largest supporters of the platform, fuck me, that is going to be one hell of Stadia stimulus. And look, my thoughts go out to the Stadia gamers. There are quite a few Stadia players who have embraced the platform, and a lot of them have built channels here on YouTube around Google Stadia. Some have even built their identity around Stadia, and some even made a little bit of a more permanent commitment and got tattoos. And it's going to be very interesting to see how those individuals pivot their passions to kind of some new avenues. And I would be lying if I didn't admit that there was some vindication here. As if you've been paying attention to the channel for the past year, I have been very open about my growing frustration with Stadia. The fact that we've received under 20 games for the first half of the year, Phil Harrison being inexistent, the fact that developers bring games to the platform and just leave them there broken, or the fact that Stadia is widely ignored by the majority of the gaming industry and larger developers. All videos that most of you watched, you agreed on, you supported, which made me aware that this issue isn't just mine. It's a lot bigger than what I originally thought. And I gotta admit, that fed into a new frustration. You know, it's like, Google, why aren't you addressing any of this? And turns out they were never fully invested. I mean, even at the original Stadia announcement, they opened up the press conference by saying,
I'm actually not a big gamer.
And I think after everything we've been through with today's news, that's extremely apparent now. And even just lifting up the curtain a little bit, as one of the larger Stadia creators, I would reach out pitching video ideas, opportunities, and they would either just shoot them down or they would just never respond. I mean, I think the total was up to like 5 or 6 times we invited Stadia to come on the show for an interview, something that I think could have had a positive impact on Stadia as a platform. You know, fully embrace its community, discuss the problems, its hopes, its ambitions moving forward, and for a platform that's trying to get its footing, embracing the community who's trying to make them succeed seems like a very fundamental idea, but just wasn't really there. I mean, there clearly wasn't a lot of us, but we were passionate and we wanted to help them succeed, and I just don't think that that was returned. With saying that, there's also a sense of sadness too, because there were some very good people who worked on Stadia. No one on the Stadia team clearly wanted this to happen, and they desperately wanted to make Stadia a better platform. Yesterday, we got a brand new UI update. The service was supposed to be expanding to Mexico in the next couple months, and FIFA 23 is literally launching tomorrow on Stadia, so do not buy that game. So yeah, my condolences go to the team over at Stadia. I definitely had a fun time during my ride. It was fun. I was definitely frustrated, but I still enjoyed playing games on Stadia. I mean, we even hit 1,000 friends on Stadia. Turns out, according to Phil Harrison, that was the entire player base, but I don't know, man. There might have been fewer of us, but I just keep going back to this. We were passionate. Some had blind passion, which resulted into negative things like gaslighting of me and others. And, you know, for example, there were people who tried to gaslight the community and myself over the past couple months. People who tried to discredit me, people who personally attacked me for sharing my concerns. I mean, they even went as far to create this narrative that I was crazy and painted this picture that everything is sunshine and rainbows, when clearly it's not. We even had a point where someone told their community that people who spoke negatively or expressed concern in this way need to pay for their sins, which was probably the scariest point. And looking back on the past couple months, I mean, we could write a book about the craziness. I don't know. I'm sure I'm gonna have some more thoughts over the next couple days, but it's still crazy news. So without further ado, Let's pull up the graphic. Google Stadia is officially dead. It lived longer than most of us believed it would, but the ride has finally come to an end.